I tell Mary what happened at the phone box. You say Hanayome acted strangely. She called the spirit that cursed you with your mark Buddha. I cannot say I know what she saw, but from what you said, she will likely not respond to your question. That does not mean she does not understand you, however. Use any method available to obtain as much information as you can. Fly! Begone, fly! No one likes you. The phone booth stands solitary on the edge of the vacant rest area. An endless sea of trees stand behind it. Christy must have run into the forest after she heard the phone ring. I can hear a dog howl from nearby. It almost sounds sad, but I'm probably just imagining it. All the hints I didn't pick up in the beginning. Christy doesn't seem bothered by it. She's completely focused on the phone box. I must have gotten my mark from Hanayome back then, but I was completely oblivious. I wasn't exactly in the right state of mind. Well, now that I'm here, I still have no idea why Hanayome hung up on me. I followed the rumors exactly. Where did I go wrong? I scratched my head. Don't adhere to the gossip, defy it. Suddenly I hear that strange voice again. Gossip, in other words, the rumors. What will happen if I don't follow the rumors? Christy, go back to the car. There's something I want to try, but it might end up backfiring on me. Sure. I don't know what you're going to do, but please be careful. Oh, and I almost forgot. I have a message from Ita. Yeah. It's about the latest information on Hanayome from the BBS. Take a look. Christy hands me a note written by Ida. Don't talk about eyes or anything like it when you're on the phone with Hanayome. If the call goes sideways somehow, don't say I, okay? P.S. Best to avoid anything that even sounds like I. What? Don't say I. This is it? Yeah, that's all. Anyway, Ida said he was sure it would come in handy. I'll keep it in mind. Christy returns to the car. I step inside and wait for the phone to ring. There's a poster in this booth, too. Just like the one at the park, this looks like it's been here for a few years. Help our investigation. On the night of 2/8/199X, an assault took place in the forest nearby. If anyone has any info on this case, please notify H Police Department. February 8th, 5 years ago. I think the poster I saw in the park had the same exact date. Coincidence? The phone rings. I grab the receiver and slowly pick up. I hear the noise like someone chewing gum from the other end of the phone. An icy cold voice speaks. Did you see it? I saw it. You saw, didn't you? You saw the thing of me. The voice cuts off. Something outside collides violently with the glass of the booth, but I can't see it. Live or die. Tell me, how did you see it? With your own eyes, or eyeglasses, or a telescope? It sounds like something scratching around the outside of the phone box. You saw it. You said you saw it. What color? A beautiful color. Red, pink, green? You saw it. What kind of person are you? What's important to you? Your dreams? Romance? Love? Which? Which do you choose? The phone goes dead. The next thing I know, the bloody handprint is gone, and so is the ominous presence. The questions she asked me were strange. She was particularly anxious about what I had seen. I think I did a good job not mentioning anything like eyes in my answers. Overly conscious over being seen. Maybe that's where her secret lies. I exit the booth and Christy rushes up to me. My mark started hurting out of nowhere. Did it go all right? I tell Christy about what happened in the telephone booth. I have no idea what that means. Guess there's no way she'd know the answer. Something's on the ground there. Sure enough, there's a folded up piece of paper lying near the booth. Looks like a piece of stationery. I don't think it was there before I went into the phone box. I pick up the paper and open it. To Psycho. I'll dispel all of your heartache. So forget that horrible incident and take your quiet rest up in heaven. An incident. The posters I saw in the telephone booth mentioned something like that too. Could they be connected? I asked Christy what they think. Christy looks deep in thought. What is it? Oh, nothing. Well, we've checked out all of the boxes, so let's head back to the mansion. Something still bugs me, though. Yeah? We should probably head back for now. Hey, Mr. Cade. You know those posters and that bit of stationery we found? Could they be linked to Hanayome? She might have been someone who was caught up in the incident and killed. And if that's the case, then... Christy turns toward the shelves with files. Files full of articles on criminal cases. The dates were 5 years ago, right? Then there might be an article on what happened here in these files. We could use more help. Maybe Aita and Suzu can give us a hand. Go ahead and call them over. All four of us begin reading through the files. The clippings range from the smallest dispute to the most heinous crimes in H City, but they're all dated 5 years ago or earlier. I think it was supposed to be or later, because earlier in the game they said the newest one was like 5 years ago. They get stored in the garage because they're so old. After a while, I found it. The victim's name is Psycho. The date is February, 5 years ago. Gotta be it. Christy lays the file out on the desk and we all peer at it. The file has articles about an incident that happened 5 years ago. The victim's name was Psycho Hasegawa. Apparently she committed suicide in the forest by H Castle on the eve of her wedding. She was in her dress when she was found. Suzu, you probably shouldn't read anymore. It's pretty bad. Thanks, Aita. But I want to know more about Hanayome. I feel like I need to do this. She cringes, but she sounds determined. Between this and sneaking out at night, she's a surprisingly brave kid. It's rather odd for someone her age. I remember now. This happened back when I used to be a news anchor. Christy mutters just loud enough to hear. Then do you know the whole story? It was horrible. It's hard to recount. The woman was abducted by a gang while she was walking her dog. They brought her to the forest and assaulted her. People found her battered and staggering along the road the next day. The dog was run over and killed near the forest when it chased after them. That's horrifying. Yeah, but that wasn't the end of Psycho Hasegawa's misfortune. Wrong voice, Aita. His usual grin is nowhere to be found. It's well known in some circles, but her assault was photographed. The pictures were sent to her fiancé. They threatened to make them public if he didn't pay up. I heard he gave them a ton of money to get the photos and the negatives. Is that true, Christy? Yeah, I heard that as well. Because of all that, Miss Psycho had a mental breakdown, and in the end she hung herself. She'd been a serious, honest woman, so she couldn't bear it. cruel fate of a woman attacked before her wedding. We fall silent as that reality weighs on us. Suzu timidly speaks up, her face pale. Maybe there's a connection between what happened to Miss Hasegawa and Hanayome's phone boxes. According to the article, the incident that wrecked her life took place near each phone box. She was abducted by the park and assaulted by the rest area. She was found wandering near the parking lot by the highway. The phone booths connect Hanayome and Psycho Hasegawa. The coincidence sends shivers down my spine. So the note we found by the telephone booth, did Psycho's fiancé write it? Most likely. What's strange is that it was there and not where she committed suicide. Did Hanayome put it there? Maybe she was telling us something. I have no clue how spirits think, but if Suzu's right, then that note is an important clue for us. I seem to recall Miss Psycho's fiancé was a famous musician. As a result, the case was widely publicized at the time. It happened right after they returned from a romantic trip to Greece. Old ladies were sobbing about how it made it all the more tragic, and the poor dog they brought on the trip died heroically as well. Where's the fiancé now? Well, he began acting strange due to the shock and then went missing. Some say her suicide was to follow him. But he wasn't the only one who disappeared. It sounded like all the culprits went missing too. You hear about that online too? Well, something like that. The internet wasn't the same back then, there were only hubs. Hubs like pre-internet chat rooms? Everyone was talking about it on the cult hubs back then. There was one person in the community we knew way too much. I think he was one of the culprits. He brought up a bunch of things, like taking pictures and all that. And I bet those pictures were of the assault. Yeah, that's right. After they were finished, those hassles got a camera out and took pictures of her face soaked with tears, and the whole time she yelled, "Don't look, don't look." Don't look, huh? Hanayome has an extreme reaction to being seen by others. He kept going on about it night after night, until he suddenly stopped posting. People who knew him said they couldn't contact him as well. Those guys deserve to die, but it's still really creepy, you know? Suddenly, a line from the note pops into my head. I'll dispel all of your heartache. Hey, Christy. Do you happen to know exactly when the forest Psycho killed herself? I was a reporter at the time, so I did go to the location. Oh, where, not when. But that was 5 years ago, so I don't remember exactly. I feel like it went west from that big arch at the entrance. So you're really going to go? Yeah, we might be able to figure out something about Hanayome. Fine, I understand. I've had my fill of that forest, but I suppose we have no other leads. Because I know I'm gonna need her. Probably just use her this whole time, make it different than the last time. Hearing her speak, I had the impression she had been raised well, but now that I'm alone with her like this, it's not just that. She's, how do I put it? This is a little late, but I hope we get along. Should I call you Mr. Cade? No, just, Mr. is fine. Why not? Mr. seems weird. Having you call me by my first name is... No, Cade is your last name. Having you call me by my first name is kinda... I'm sorry, was that rude of me? That's right, she's strangely mature. Suzu? Is it alright if I call you that? Yes, just Suzu is fine. Okay. So what do your parents do? Yeah, it's kind of out of the blue to ask that, but we might be in some life or death situation. Even if she's just a kid, I'd like to know what kind of person she is. Yep. Right now, I'm only living with my mom. She pushes herself every day. Pushes herself. Does that mean she's a career woman who works hard at her job? I see. Sorry for the random question. Not at all. She lives alone with her mother, who works every day. Which means she's basically living alone. That must be why she's so mature. Just then the tires hit a bump in the road. I can see a square, gray object in the back seat through the rearview mirror. Is that something back there yours? No, that's Aita's. He said it was a CD radio cassette player. A radio cassette player? Why? He said we might need music while we drive. Want to listen to something? No, I'll pass. The conversation grinds to a halt after that. It's like there is an invisible person between us. After falling silent a while, Suzu finally speaks up again. It only makes sense for the conversation to turn in one direction. This mark. Did Hanayome really do this? I don't know for sure, but I think that's a natural assumption. Oh, I guess so. Suddenly it dawns on me. Why does this kid not want to treat the spirit like it's evil? No, maybe it's just Hanayome specifically. That would be the best. What would? I mean, if Hanayome were really a nice spirit. Yeah, you're right. Her grin at me is relieved. I smile back at her stiffly, a weight in
of my stomach. If that's really true, then we can get through this without anyone dying. The problem is that's impossible. I lightly rub my wrist as I watch Suzu smile out of the corner of my eye. Yeah, I really hope so. Except for the occult leader, I don't really feel bad for him. Huh? We're gonna go in the forest. Suzu is understandably terrified. Anyone would be in her shoes. No one wants to go into a dark forest at night, especially a famous suicide spot. We'll be okay so long as we're careful. I don't believe what I said for a minute. It's just something you say at times like these. Yeah, sure. Okay. It's supposed to be west of the gate. I look to the west of the gate again, but there's no sign of a trail. Suddenly, Suzu's face stiffens. What's wrong? It just got cold. I follow their gaze and see a low shadow dashing out from the darkness. A dog. It certainly seems like one. It kicks up the dirt with 4 legs, but it looks off somehow. Its fur is long and disheveled, and from the certain angles its face looks human. The dog stares at us, growling softly. What is it? Are you trying to tell us something? Mom says you're not supposed to talk nice to dogs like that. She says to be firm like its master. That's how you train them. If you give it attention, the dog will think it has power over you. So ignore it and stay quiet, huh? I guess that's true for humans too. Powerful people tend to ignore others. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. The dog barks loudly, then vanishes into western underbrush. The moment it's gone, the chill in the air dissipates like it was never there. Was it trying to tell us that we should go that way? Maybe. I shine the flashlight on the spot where the dog disappeared. A now familiar pain shoots through my wrist. The marked color grows more vivid. A few hours left until death awaits. Dog's not a killer dog. There's probably not much time left. We better hurry. It tried to save its owner. Let's check the bushes over there. With the dog gone, I push my way into the underbrush. I spot the traces of what used to be a path. You could barely call it one at this point. This must be the closed hiking trail. The path goes west from the gate. It's really here. Was it trying to tell us about it? Who knows? Anyway, let's get going. That's because you're a man, and all he knows is a bunch of men assaulted his owner, and he died for it. I shine the light on the grove of the trees in front of us and catch a glimpse of something odd. Mister, what's that? Something stuck to the tree over there. I can't make it out from here. I move forward for a closer look. What is this? All thoughts in my mind ceases. It's as if I'm unable to process what I'm seeing and my brain comes to a halt. Are these photos? There are a bunch of pictures of different people posted to the tree. But they're all... what is that? Why do they all the eyes have nails? It's just as Suzu said. For some bizarre reason, each photo has a person with nails driven through both eyes. Attached to the nails is some kind of tape. Oh, those are the negatives. Cold sweat drips down my back. What kind of grudge could cause someone to do something like this? All of the pictures. They're all men. Suzu mutters just loud enough to hear. Huh? Look over the photos again. A good number of them are deteriorated, so they're hard to make out, but they may be right. Yeah, looks like it. All the subjects are men. That's clearly not a coincidence. I feel a little dizzy and step back. Through my blurry vision, something flashes in the light from the flashlight. Is something wrong? Nothing, it's just over there. Something sparkled up there. Something might be up there, we should check out. Something up in the branches of the trees is reflecting light. Something must be stuck in the branches. The only way we'll be able to check it out is if we climb up the trunk. You're going to climb the tree. There aren't any cavity knots or branches within reach. It'll be hard to climb up, so... If that's all, then... Okay, I'll try. I squat at the base of the tree and let it climb up on me. Up you go! Ding! I stagger a bit and manage to stand. I feel like I'm the one with the trees now. Can you reach? Just a little to the right. I'm almost there. Susie reaches as far as she can with her hand, and I lose my balance. We both crash to the ground. Are you okay? I'm fine. I'm here. Suzu shows me her hands. It's holding the object that was stuck in the branches. I'd got a dog collar. A collar? It makes me think of the dog we saw before coming here. Does this belong to that dog? I wonder who threw it away. Who knows? As I'm putting it away in my bag, I spot an inscription on the inside of the collar. Agenda. How are you supposed to pronounce that? I feel around on the blades of grass. Got instant camera. I've hit the switch before I realized, and a red light appears. Apparently that means the flash can be used. Does it still work? Yeah, looks like it. I turn it off and quickly stuff it in my bag. I decided it wise not to mention the dried blood that stuck to the bottom of it. To see is to perceive light. That distant voice echoes in my head. True, seeing something means you're seeing the light it's reflecting. But what does that have to do with Hanayome? New info is added to the spirit file, around the tree-covered photos. Alright. Went to the left. I hear a low growl from somewhere. I can't see what's making it, but it seems to be watching me. Oh, we did see that dog at the gate. I'm not sure why, but I feel an intense hostility directed toward me. What should we do? The instant Suzu speaks, the growling grows distinctly quieter. I remember the photos. All of them were men with nails in their eyes. I don't know what that has to do with the dog, but if those pictures demonstrate the hatred that saturates this place. If I'm with Suzu, it might react differently. I consider my options. I've got an idea. I take out the collar. Maybe. It's a safe bet that the spirit was born here, so the dog is likely tied to the collar. I face the general area the barking is coming from and show it the collar. The dog appears like a gust of wind. Whoa. Before I can blink, it seals the collar for me. Live or die. When I try to quickly jump away, I hear Suzu call out to me. Mr. K, don't move. But I don't catch the rest of it. The dog rushes at me so fast it looks like it's gliding over the ground. The dog stops in a track. It seems confused that I'm not reacting and just standing still. It shovels back on its guard, then prepares to attack again. Bares its teeth and growls. Right now, buddy. I break my gaze and turn my back to it. I pretend to not hear it threatening me. It growls for a while until it abruptly stops. The dog holds the collar in its mouth and stares at me. That collar has an inscription on it, doesn't it? I'm sure it said, Gente. What should I call it? Gente. Genta. I mutter the name. The dog perks its ears. I say it again, this time more clearly. Then, safe. Hi, John, what's up? The dog turns around and quietly slinks into the brush. It disappears from sight. Seems I somehow managed to escape death. I pick up the collar that was left behind and sigh deeply. Are you okay? Yeah, that was... I can't even say it was no big deal, and the words simply trail off. That's all I can answer with. I pat myself down with my hands, but I don't seem to be injured anywhere. I did feel teeth biting into my hand when the collar was snatched from me, though. That dog may be supernatural. I hope it doesn't attack again. I think we'll be fine. I found what I was looking for. It found what it was looking for. Is my sound distorted again? It is, hold on. Of all the problems, I can deal with distortion versus... Oh dear. Hopefully that just started. Is that better? Okay. Do you know how long that pitch was going for, Justin? Hopefully not too long. And you didn't tell me? 5 minutes, you could have told me. Don't jump up, Iris. That's okay. Just the dog zone. Alright. Did she have another allergic reaction, John? It found what it was looking for. You're right. Oh. No, it's me. It did that when I first started and I fixed it, so... Okay. If it does it again, let me know. I sound like a rope creaks above my head. Silhouettes swing in the shadow of the trees. My whole body shudders with dread. Are those people? Can they do a payment plan? Suzu gives a terrified yelp. Speechless, I shine my flashlight on them. They clearly aren't people. They're mannequins. The things hanging by their necks from the trees are displayed mannequins you can find in a department store. Obviously, dolls can't commit suicide. Is this someone's idea of a prank or maybe a warning to intruders? The only one who knows the truth would be whoever did this. Let's go. I don't think they're dangerous. They're only mannequins. Okay. Hopefully it... ambulance rides suck. But before either of us take a step forward, I feel a shaky hand gripping onto me.
Grabbing onto it, I stop it from swaying. I open the hand and take what's inside. Found a worn-out talisman.